Hello, hello, and welcome back to the series between the Demon Kings and Galaxy Esports. I am now joined by Trial Shock. You caught
Hi,
some of
everyone.
that game. How are you feeling?
Well, I've seen that Galaxy has played a really nice first game for the series, and the draft was very interesting. But yeah, they managed to take the edge and take the first one for the series. So we're
They
we're
did
starting with the
indeed.
second draft. I see, and let me look at the bands here. What did they prefer on the playstyle? Tell me about it.
So, coming from our first one, we had very brawl-centric coming in from Demon King Penguins, and they just carried on brawling throughout the whole of the game. Unfortunately, they fell off a cliff at a certain point, as you expect from that type of draft. Galaxy Esports on the other side,
Absolutely.
more than happy to just carry on scaling off their main scaling champs. The Vladimir and the Zaya were really very strong by the end of it. So interested to see how the two different philosophies are going to kind of clash together, as Galaxy seem to be happy to farm it up and fight when you want to fight. And Demon King Penguins were just looking to brawl. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in that first game. Is that a missed ban?
Yeah, it's a little weird. Maybe they have to restart the draft or missed it. So
I have no idea. That looks like a missed ban.
yeah, it seems like. And then we see a Javan fourth on the other hand by Galaxy Sports. Yeah, they are trying to get rid of the aggro factor maybe, and then we see the Jinx as an answer.
Yeah. Jarvan, a very solid answer into the Jinx. So expected to, once you see that kind of Jarvan gone through. By the way, the missed ban is a Lulu. So we
Got a
have no
Lulu.
Lulu in this game. A Mumu as well. So massive pinch already being put onto this jungle role. And we saw Galaxy Esports in their draft. They drafted a whole lot of champions that can potentially head into that jungle region, jungle role.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of junglers really get cut off with this
Yeah,
draft. So they have not left with a lot of choices on the jungle. So we'll see what they're gonna pull off.
absolutely.
Maybe some weird quirky strat that works out in their favor. Who knows?
Maybe indeed. We'll have to see what happens, as Gwen has been left open. Gwen got left open the whole
Yeah,
of
and
game
that's
one.
it. That's the first pick on Gwen.
Yeah. I don't quite know how it made it this far, but Muff will take advantage the second time round. First time round, chose to go with Aatrox on the first pick, but this time going on to the Gwen, as we get a Viego as the answer, and the Ornn, which was banned away our first time around. Oh, we are swapping sides. Right, I see what's happened. So it's
Okay.
Kaiser Cham who wants the Gwen, and it will be Muff taking what looks to be an Ornn with a Viego by his side into the Gwen.
Yeah, favorable matchup for Gwen, absolutely. But maybe they want to play around this top lane, and so they're just welcoming it to be the weak lane and pivoting around
Jungle.
the bot lane to then play like a split map where you just give up top lane and try to win hard on the bot lane. And then we see a Camille.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily a fan of this Camille pick. I think Gwen does
Yeah.
amazingly well into the Ornn, but if Broken Arrow is your Gwen player, then I guess it makes sense at the end of the day. That's who you want to be having the Gwen in the jungle instead of in the top side, then giving your top laner some amazing side threat. Really put pressure onto this Ornn can be very effective as we see Tristana locked in as well as Corki on the other
Okay, yeah,
side.
I think that's mid lane.
You think
I, I'm
that's mid matchup?
yeah, I'm thinking that Tristana is mid lane maybe, because well, you would want to with a Camille support, because I'm thinking that's a Camille support.
You think I think that's gonna top.
You think that's top?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe a little bit crazy here. Okay, that works too. That works too.
Kaiser has 7 games of Camille this split, including a couple ones very recently, and Broken Arrow, his most played is Gwen.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So I think that's the way around we're going, but it could still very well be the mid matchup. We've seen Tristana into Corki a decent bit, especially when they both turn into AD, but Viego on your jungle, you kind of want to have that mage in mid lane to get your damage profile set out straight. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Corki went down to the bot lane instead, as the Akali will be banned away. That is the Penguin saying, we don't believe a thing about this Tristana mid.
Yeah, I also think that you have to complement the Viego on the jungle with a much more present mid laner, something like hard carry mage. Corki can play that role, but it's not his favorite role to play. Sorry for the joke.
Good.
But what can they pick to?
I'm kind of surprised the Galaxy have chosen to take away so many enchanters on this, as it's going to be with a Corki, a Viego, and an Ornn. You want to have an engaged support. You just want to go straight into the backline, and Rel will be the choice. I think that is an amazing pickup for the Penguins. I am shocked that Galaxy Esports have taken away so many disengaged champions from themselves. I would have loved to have seen the Janna come out, the Alistair. Very telegraphing in that sense, right? As soon as you see the Alistair ban, you're thinking of Rel, because that is the main counter. The Magnet Storm has free reign now to just go straight into your backline.
Yeah, correct. So,
okay, well that would appear to make it Camille support. My bad.
yeah.
Okay.
But then you have Urgut into an Arna, and that
is pretty good.
Yeah, that's still favorable for GLX. And also maybe they kept the counter pick, and we see on the last pick, oh, that's not a Nico, that's an Elias. Maybe?
It's still not locked in just yet, but
that's Elias.
That is Elise chosen. Okay.
I cannot see this draft. Really. I cannot compose. There's so many things you can do with this. Could Elise be support? I cannot place this.
I hate Elise support.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
I don't know what's going mid.
And then we have a Hui.
Okay, Hui is very default mid. That's
yeah. So your prediction was correct. Cork is moved to bot lane with Rel, and I cannot decipher this draft by GLX. It's really so. We got jungle, we got the top lane, and then that's anarchy. Like I don't really see it.
Let's do some theory crafting around here. So
if you put
Pedro plays basically everything.
Yeah, is.
But Broken Arrow has 40 games on Gwen, and his next highest is Viego at 15. So both of his top 2 have been taken away with for the rest of the series from this game. The Gwen and the Viego are both now gone. So a very solid pick for Broken Arrow. That is likely the Gwen headed to the jungle. So who takes the Urgot? Is this an Urgot mid? Is it an Urgot bot?
I see an Urgot mid a lot easier than a Camille mid, to be honest. But you are against a Hui, and do you want to be against a Hui as Urgot?
Okay, well, I have just uncovered some information.
Okay.
It would appear the Galaxy have chosen to send the Camille into the top, the Gwen into the jungle, Tristana mid, Urgot ADC, and then an Elise support.
We got an Urgot ADC. Okay, what a quirky bot lane. But that's interesting though. I think I've never seen it, but it's interesting because especially against Core Kirel, Rel cannot virtually engage against Urgot because she got the Elise that can interrupt the jump and basically everything in her kit. And then you have the Urgot that's basically unengageable with the E and with the tankiness native in the Urgot. So Rel kind of has to rely on her Q. And then you have a Corki that has no enabling mechanics whatsoever, and that's not damn as it seems.
Yeah. This is an insane level of cooking on a draft. I
Absolutely, absolutely.
haven't seen something as crazy as this in quite a long time. Camille into Ornn. Let's start somewhere we know. Camille into Ornn, a very solid matchup for Kaiser Cham. He should be able to push that Ornn pretty far under his own turret. The Ornn will get his usefulness when he starts hitting those later levels, gives away those ornaments, and also has the Call of the Forge Lord for those main team fights. But the Camille in the side lane should be able to get a massive amount of pressure there. How do we feel about the mid lane? Tristana into Hui.
Oh, I think first 5 levels are Tristana dominance, but then Wei has a way to keep her away, like lane at lane distance. So maybe she has to participate in team fights or like 2 main plays. But yeah, first 5 levels, I think they are hell for Wei for.
Yeah, just having a look at some different statistics from across the place. Apparently, Tristana into Hui mid is a 47.66% win rate for the Tristana. So it is not the best, but it's a playable matchup. It's just not necessarily one you'd want to play all the time, but there are definitely ways that both sides can have their counterplay. Hui has about 1,000 abilities they can use at any given moment to kind of get an advantage. Tristana on the other side, all comes down to how you buffer your W. If you get it away from the Hui, that's amazing. But if you get caught in those jaws, that will cancel out your buffer entirely. You will have no W away. So that would be worst case scenario.
Yeah, that's
Now,
a factor to be calculated.
let's have a look at this bot side. We have a
Yeah.
couple minutes to talk about this. Urgot and
Well,
Elise.
I tell you about what I think about this bot lane. I think it's literally perfect. Like you don't have a way to interact with that GLX side for at least without the jungler. But maybe Viego can help with a 3v3 and can turn out well for the penguins. But yeah, that 2v2 is rough, man. Very rough.
Urgot not typically seen in the bot side of the map, so I, for one, am extremely interested to see how this Urgot is piloted this game. It is going to be a massive linchpin of the comp. It's kind of the only form of tankiness if he chooses to build that way. If they don't, then they can very easily get womboed in these team fights. They have so many good team fight ults on the side of the Penguin, looking at the Ornn, looking at the Rel, the Viego, gonna just keep getting resets during this fight, and the Hui as well, putting out so much AoE damage. They're gonna have to find ways to really pressure on these side lanes, because otherwise, if they start taking team fights and they're even in gold, they're just gonna lose.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think the Penguins team fight is like they have so many tools, but they are so hard to apply with that composition, especially on the Gwen, especially on the mobility by provided by the E of the Camille Z. So really powerful, but they have to play good. Like they have the tools, but they have to apply them correctly. And yeah, it's really skilled. It's really skill based. I think they there's not clear matchup on who wins on besides the favorable matchup by Camille. And Because even on the mid lane, where we talked about Tristana being so oppressive, then Wei has a lot of ways to up her on skilling and on especially on farming, because then she will have a lot of hard time to clear waves with the pressure of 2 items, 1.5 items Wei, and yeah. It's interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious here.
I too am very curious for how this game will go down. We have just loaded into the Rift for our game 2. We'll bring you that picture right now. So thank you for sticking with us throughout that draft. It was quite a long draft, but we are now finally onto the Rift for game 2 between Galaxy Esports and the Demon King Penguins.
We are. We see a thunder cover by Penguins. Yeah, they both are thinking regular.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Some movement on.
At least has to be very careful.
Oh, that's a Half-Life Plus. And we use some
good
skirmishes
damage.
on the top lane.
Zakin has to be even more careful. He's going to get hookshot wall though. He's going to have to flash away out of his own jungle already. Not the perfect start for the Viego by any means. As
Really
Pedro
battling for the.
is getting bullied out. The crash down going to come in. The Severing Bolt as well lands. He's going to get ignited. He might just fall. He does.
That's just the first bolt on Pharrell with the hands of Way. Importantly, what like you played 2 summoners for a first blood on super, but that's especially very mentally challenging for
Zakin
Pedropi.
has to be
Like,
careful here. They have stuck around on his top side. He's going to walk straight in. He's going to put the ward down. Thankfully for him, but there are now 3 people in front of his face. Can he even survive this? The explosive charge will destroy the Viego. You are not allowed onto your red side of the jungle. You are just going to have to go back to the base. And a massive second blood going over to Wade Tristana.
that's the next X2 that goes from the Galaxy side, but that's for a kill. You never lose on that. So a lot of movement in the first minutes of this game. Wow. They have bloodshot eyes on these first kills. Let's see how Zakin can recover from this. Like, he's got all his top side stolen, and I don't think he can venture into the
Kinda has to.
Yeah,
He
but
wants to get anything. He has to use this bot lane pressure to get on to his red side camp one way or another. It will be the flip back coming in from the Urgot, a massive trade onto Los Babones. He will be finding alongside Pedro once more, not looking all too healthy as the Gwen clears up those Raptors. 3 camps on the top side already confirmed. It's interesting. They've chosen to take the split map on the side of Galaxy when their bot lane seems to be the ones in the most need right now.
yeah, we see down rotating, and that's the kill by.
Yep, that's a dead Corki.
Paris man is just they're just following the rail on the without the mount. It's kind of slow, and the
Caught by
sound
Cocoon as well. He might just fall. He knows he's gonna fall. No flash from
Diving
Flash
there.
forward. The other player does stay alive,
Close
but
one.
it's a dead Viego as well.
Then Viego that gets caught. Yeah, that movement by Tristana was really interesting. I was looking at the minimap. She went down on the red box to check for the Viego vertical juggling, and she kind of found him, not really in the jungle, and just took it on the river and punished him for trying to even put his city in his jungle.
Yeah, I am lost. There is
That's so much information.
so much has just occurred in the first part of this game as Tristana is now bullying the play as well.
As we predicted at the time. Yeah.
Lots of
That's a
minions
duo
to space this
Tristana.
cat.
Actually, that's a 2 Tristana, so it's even scarier.
Yeah,
She's
that's
backing up, and
that's a BS sword back right there.
Yeah.
Nice everybody. He's gonna flash
The
dog you
flash on.
forward. Flashes away from the play himself. Yeah, that's not a good flash. That will just be a death. The Spectral Maul will connect. The kill will hand its way over on to the Viego. So a bit of an overplay coming
I
in.
don't know run up on this flash because you are 2-0. You want to capitalize on that way. You want to put him as behind as possible. So that's a little cocky, but I feel him. I feel him. That's not that crazy. I understand the vision. I can see vision. Then we see another skirmish from bot lane here. Perhaps get out with the W. Not really
down.
happening here.
Over the wall, escapes away from the Elise. Unfortunately for this time, the Cocoon miss, and also unfortunate -1 for Muff, as he is now going to get dove under this turret. The Krogs have been taken by Broken Arrow. This is one of the most telegraphed plays, and yet there is absolutely nothing this Ornn can do apart from pop those biscuits and hope that it's enough to survive under the 2-man dive. They might not even care. They might just go for the plate. Not to clear out the wave. They're going to go for it now. He's going to get the knock-up, but it only lands onto the Camille. She didn't tank the turret. She now does on the Sleepy Strike. Going to have to flash away, so not a great play overall.
A little bit of a miscommunication, maybe. They want to go for the plate, but then they try to dive.
Yeah, they both can take it back, get out of there. And it will be the Drake on the other side. Zekyn is a level down again. This time on the Diego instead of Hecker as before. And now it's another Tristana who maybe been caught. But maybe he's doing the catch and he pops the exhaust onto the Quay. But the Spiraling Despair will trade it out. And now the Diego is in the middle of a 3-man team onto the Elise. So a massive overplay coming in across the board from Galaxy right now. And they're getting punished. They need to stop looking for these plays where they're in a numbers disadvantage. They're going to be looking again right now, as it is another 2v3 they're looking for.
Another 3v2, they do not take this again. They're always playing
Go to grubs.
disadvantage.
Just go to the grubs. You don't need to do this.
Like, they are playing with disadvantage.
He's going to go over. Unfortunately, they dragged away the Drake, and now the Crashdown comes in Broken Arrow. He's going to look for the steal on the Drake. He just dies for nothing. What are they doing?
They just want to play on this.
Camille died top.
Camille died too. Like, okay.
Camille just got solo killed because the level 6 timer from the Ornn came through. The Forge God was called, and it's a solo kill topside. What is going on?
And another flame for the.
This is a death.
Hey,
it must be. Explosive charge connect. That will be.
Yeah, that's good. So much pressure. So we kind of expected from this composition by Galaxy to have this pressure on the map, but not this much. Like, they are playing like weirdly because they have put the pressure where it should have went, but just 1 second later they just decide to take a underdog fight, 3v2, 3v1, and I don't really see a reason for that.
I don't think there was a reason. I think that's the key part there. That's why you're not seeing one, because there wasn't a reason to go for that, and we're going to see another crazy player is attempted again. Lion 6X, absolutely psycho. He still thinks that he is the Giga Vladimir from the last game, but he is not anymore. He is a brand new Tristana who will be forced away from these Raptors. He needs to temper his expectations right now, as it is the lane swap. The roam up from the Camille is left to Urgot in a 1v2. He might be fighting for this top turret, but it is the grubs at least.
Broken Arrow. Another gun way that gets pushed out of power. And
okay, that will be a trade back though.
You can trade on the Sana, and then
and Phoebe on deck.
On the 3v1,
well, they actually went for the dive and it failed.
Yeah. He might also be able to get a double kill here.
Yeah, I mean there is now flash forward, flip back, double barrier usage, dead Corky as well. Not even needing Pedro for that one, and Perez has really been the bright spot in both of these games.
Wow. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, they are playing another skirmish here.
What is going on?
I
the
cannot
Cocoon away from Pedro. There's two people here though. They are low as hell. The Spectral more forward doesn't quite connect, but the Heartbreaker will. A massive amount of damage to Pedro. Just takes the Q from the Diego, and he will not even go into the body of the Elise. He'll just take the double kill and escape as well. A great play from the Diego. Trading back, well, even more damage is now on the other side. Muff is forced to call the Forge God. He will fall to the needlework as well as the... Can we calm down for 2 seconds?
I don't think we can. I don't think we really can. And I don't engage with middle. Like, please give us a break.
Yeah,
Line
a little bit less to it.
Line 6 is maybe getting too cocky here. It's fallen behind. It started with the collector. I don't think that's a smart choice. And
Nice cocoon.
yeah, out.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's out.
Does get out in the end. Valkyrie away from insane damage, but I am just in shock at what's going on in this game. Another fear connects from Nate, but he might even just die to the Buster Shot. He will!
Yeah.
Explosive charge Buster Shot connecting under the tier 1 in mid. The counterweight has potential, but there the Rel has already been spotted out. It's going to force the Tristana up into the Viego instead. The crash down completely whiffs as the W away gets there just in time. The cocoon will enable the escape of the mid laner. So Lost Pavonis needs to stop looking for this right now. You do not have the Friar in this play. He's going to get just chased down by the Elise instead, and Broken Arrows here as well. He will get out. Mid lane handed over to Viego as they could look to go deeper. The Tristana hasn't backed yet.
They want to
Gonna go into the Hollow Mist. What is going on? Please.
It's not the fight. They want blood.
Flash Magnet Storm now comes in.
Wow.
Why are we just fighting? We are watching a game of solo queue in front of our eyes.
Yeah, that's a hell of a solo queue here. Complete madness. I cannot fathom what I'm looking at. Like, it's, when we comment an action, then there's 3 actions that we have to comment, and it's...
They're gonna go for another dive on the Urgot. Last time it was unsuccessful. This time they have the requisite damage they needed. The Rel even gets to survive, so a very clean 1-0. And the major takeaway from all of this degeneracy is look at that Viego.
Absolutely, I was about to say it. The Viego looking at the scoreboard is the one to get the advantage of all these skirmishes and chaos on the map. And we see another skirmish
as well. The knockup connects the flash forward to get the brittle proc, and it's going to force the flash wall dive away as the Elise playing over. You can't get that kill. It's not worth it if you can get the kill. You're an Elise support. You don't care if you get the kill.
It's just
still there for nothing. Oh, the Corki survives in the end as well.
It's just loving this chaos. It's just loving this chaos, man. Like, it's benefiting from all these races and all these random
Needlework has now come through. All 3 procs have gone on to Zekken as he will now fall. A 450 gold bounty likely to go down, but he might need to get the kill. The Heartbreaker finds on its way onto the Gwen. He looks to Heartbreaker his way out, and his support is now here to support him away as well. A great play from Zekken. He's going to get dove under the turret by the Buster Shot, and he does eventually fall to the Tristana. The kill goes back onto Lust, but they don't care about giving a shutdown. That is more than fine. Even more gold handed over to Tristana.
They are just trying to make as much chaos as possible. Like, this Viego is benefiting so much about this kill, and he's trying to close his second item, I think.
Yeah, very close to Collector.
The Selector maybe?
Very close to Collector.
Yeah, but wow, Tristana is just going all out on this engages, trying to get as much kill as possible, even if you have to die. And I don't really think that's well, gold efficient. Let's see, gold efficient.
I think it is when you're getting a 550 gold shutdown and you only hand over 400 gold to a support. In that scenario, I more than back it. A lot of the time, it seems like he is prioritizing going for the more stylistic plays, getting the kills instead of the CS, but he's managed to get himself quite the gold lead in this bot lane matchup. If we can have a look, he's basically already at the second item of Infinity Edge, compared to the Hui, who is 2,200 gold behind.
Numbers are talking, yeah, he's a big advantage on the mid lane, and he's also being compensating by Diego, but yeah, so as long as
look at how much money the Rel has. The Rel has the second most gold on her team right now, 14 minutes.
318 and with the first blood and everything, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not exactly where the Penguins would have wanted that goal to go, as Nate dies under his turret again. He will get the return kill.
He keeps on trading.
And the wave will reset in mid, so this time it's a net neutral. But now he is a complete item ahead of this wave, and he also forced out the flash.
Maybe he will try it around. he was right along. He would just dive and try to get as many kills as possible, even if it costs his life. But, well, it's working mathematically, so I cannot be an hater here. And
Yeah.
you see the
No Cocoon now. Used it. Pedro used it early. Magnustorm comes in, but the tower is about... There it goes, and now comes the falling of the Elise. Another kill handed over to the Rel because of the... So even more money to the support. That's the only downside from this early game from the Penguins, is that all their money is on their support jungle, and the jungle is precisely where they want it, but the Rel could not be further from where they want that goal to go.
Oh yeah, especially looking at the Corki that's just 0-3, just finished this. Yeah.
Oh, and Gwen died in jungle.
Yeah. Okay. With all this chaos on the, we have 15 kills on the blue side and 18 kills on the red side, and just 15 minutes enough.
Zerkin has to be careful here. This is a very strong Tristana right now. Already at that 2-item spike. A massive amount of damage goes onto it though. Just from landing a little bit of CC, the 7 gold comes from the skies and denies that back as well. He might even just take down to backfire torch. He is so low. But speaking of solo, there is a solo kill on the top side as Kai'Sa is able to kill Muff as well.
That's how the matchup should go. Like we should have enough to the solo kill by Ornn. He is able to take the tower maybe. And, the first pick by this side actually. So it's an important achievement, but we see the TP on the top lane to stop it from taking the tower, and with a little skirmish on the mid lane. I don't know what to tell you. That's so chaotic. Like they're just playing for the kills. I cannot see a single macro here. Like
yeah. Oh, we have a slight... He seems to be back in though, so it won't be a massive issue. He's running around on force, but... I mean, this is exactly what we saw in Game 1 as well. Both sides just completely ignoring the map, going for the kills instead. And it's going to be another play again onto Broken Arrow. He tried to steal a blue buff. Zerkin was not having that, but he might now fall. Tried to take a blue buff that wasn't his, and Line will make him pay. Another kill onto this one, already up to 10. As Pedro tried to hit the flash of 2, failed. Kai'Sa Chant will now fall to the spiraling spare. Goes to Hextech ultimate, he will die eventually, right guys? Right? No, he's somehow all that on top. The Magnet Storm doesn't even do anything. Another kill on Tristana, already up to 11. Another shutdown. He's going to go even deeper as well. Explosive charge, flash forward, buster shot hits 2. And Nate is forced away as well. Another kill onto 96X. He is just going absolutely nuclear. Feels like he's playing A-round because there is 0 macro, but he's just hands diffing right now.
Just clicking the buttons, picking on the people's heads, and having fun. Like 12-5 on the scoreboard, and he's backing up with the full item. Let's see.
Nearly, he's gonna have a massive hold. Last Whisper, and I would assume Boots as well.
Yeah,
but just a controller. he's under control for now. As play deals with the mid lane by also dealing with the Urgot.
The clicking button strategy seems to work for the GLX. Well, they win by that.
Is that at least building Rylai's? I'm sorry. I'm going to ignore whatever's happening in those builds as another massive trade goes onto the Urgot. He is forced away. Kai'Sa Cham is now also very low. The Forge God was used in the early play, but there is no turret here anymore. The knockup comes through from the Ornn. The Brittle Proc lands, but he's actually going to lose out in the long play here. You just have to run away, get the wave, and disengage.
The maybe Trinity Force, you would not take the long fight, especially without the ultimate. It's not advertisable, but we see
now he can make the play.
Up on the camera.
Hookshot wall dive comes down, shattering strike connects, and now it is an Elise forced to go into the Hextech ultimatum, and unfortunately gets nothing from it. The Ornn picks up another one as Quay is left all alone. Weak side top. forced to clear out this wave, but instead goes to the QQ instead of the QE. There is now no wave clear. She's going to try and do as much as she can, but the Rick Arrow is guaranteed to take this turret. The only question is whether Wild Arrow, Broken Arrow rather, will fall. And Blind X is just going to go deep. He goes 1-for-1. That's not what you want. Handing over the money back onto the play, as the Rick Arrow will just walk into this turret instead of going for a charge. Shelly having a couple of issues. I'm not sure.
He just doesn't care. He just wants to jump on people and kill them. Like, that's a weird approach. Like, it's 20 minutes. You maybe want to start to play with your team more, a little bit more, and like that's you have accumulated enough gold to like stop looking for them so aggressively.
This is precisely what we saw in game 1, where you just keep making plays, even if they're not good, you just keep making plays from both sides. And GLX Esports somehow always find themselves on the top of these plays. They get all those turrets, all that gold now into their pockets, as Kaisersham goes very deep on the wall dive, but Nerf is there to repel.
Out of the map, but nothing really happens, and they want to play around this Atakan, I think.
Yeah, they must do. They're down here for it. There is 3 Drakes already been taken by Penguin. We kind of ignored that because there's so much other stuff happening right now.
Looking at the
The
top
Demon
lane.
Kings have
Looking at
guaranteed
that
themselves.
That's on the verge of war. Like, he's gonna press W on his head like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe he
I
just
mean,
wants
both of them proxying the wave from each other. It's a very odd position to be in,
yeah,
as the
maybe
play
they-
feels forced away. That is a half HP Tristana forcing away from a wave. That is how strong Line 6X is right now, as there is a little bit more posturing around the back.
just giving up pressure. Maybe complicity for the Aragan on the bot lane, so the teammates can fight for it on a maybe 5v4, and you can push on the inhibitor on top lane. But we see nothing happening really. The teams are just holding back and applying in the next one.
Yeah, I wish they would do some planning for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
mean,
amazing. It
maybe
looks like
so.
we're not allowed 2 seconds though, as Kaiser-chan will go again onto Nerf. A very nice trade that he has found, and now the team fight starts to begin. The Ignite already used onto Zekken very early onto that. They're going to go so deep to try and catch the Viego out, but he is not caught right now. He is instead in the presence of his ADC, of his support. It's the Corki instead who's caught. Hextech ultimating onto the Corki. Can they peel for him effectively? They can't. The Magnus Storm, the Camille over the top will execute the poor little Van in his helicopter, and now the second kill potentially handed over as well. As the Cocoon lands onto Zekken, he will fall to the Elise. A great play found by Pedro.
Wow.
And it's just consistent fighting, and it somehow always seems to favor GLX Esports.
Yeah, Line 6 took the flash out of Diego in the first moments of the fight, and then just chased him. Like, he just clicked on his head and ran him behind tower, and then the beautiful flash between like Roki, and really beautiful to watch. That goes out to kill on the Taken. That 10-5 is not really working out anymore, because Tristana is maybe a better scaler and is shining a little bit brighter with the
I mean, this is the thing. Line is more than happy to just take these picks, but he will attempt to kill evenly with whoever he is up against. If he goes 1-for-1, he will outscale in the long play. He's just
I don't think he ever
consistently.
thought about not picking a kill. Like, I think he has like a boost vision. He sees red, he throws himself on the enemy.
And it's working out so far. It'd be interesting to see if the Demon King Penguins have any counterplay to it. Or will he just go again? He can just go super deep on these plays. The Spiraling Despair does absolutely nothing. He will be collapsed on, but he might just get another kill. He's going to flash away. That was very bold. The Magnet Storm also used, so a little bit of overinvestment from both sides there, but that's now a no Tristana flash for the next 5 minutes. And Soul is up in 30 seconds. No TP either on Tristana as well. He is not going to be in the Soul fight. Also not going to be in the Soul fight apparently is Muff. He's going to have to pull the forward guard, but it's too little too late. the God is not going to do anything for him right now. The turret has fallen. There are 4 players on this bot side. You send that many people onto top. We see this when you play against Baus. If you send that many people up top side, it doesn't matter. You can always get plays on the other side of the map, and it'll be better for your team. And now the 4 players bot, they get the turret, they get the kill.
Who Viego, nice, but they just want to chase down.
Ice Champ's gonna go onto Hextech Ultimation again, deletes the Viego from the game. This is an 11 kill Viego who is doing absolutely nothing right now. He's getting completely dominated, and unfortunately the Corki is going down with him. He's 0-6 and 8 right now. Nothing this Corki is able to find this game because all the kills have been landed onto the Rel instead. That is now Soul Denial after the Ashtown was taken, and probably Baron as well, if we're being honest. Now 2k gold lead about 10 minutes ago for the Penguins has completely flipped around. They keep going for these plays where they just keep on fighting, and Galaxy Sports always seem to be in an advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've seen that Broken Arrow has tried to flank on the Zekin, and has been so successful with the other flank by line 6. They just pinpointed him on the backside of the blue side, the blue box.
Yeah, this is not your jungle anymore, Zekin. You are unfortunately not here anymore. He does get exhausted. If he didn't get exhausted, he might have won out by Buster Shot and the exhaust combined enough to win to line 6 there.
That's a good use of an exhaust, I think. It's still 11-7, 11-6.
No, despite his hit, he might just fall. The Severing Bot will get him. Whoa. Passive proc, but here comes the Gwen instead. The Fear gonna try and force maybe the Needlework is enough. Nates will fall once more, and Pedro sticking around on the Elise. He is very low HP right now. Could potentially be the first team game going to Corki instead. Honey just carry on walking. It's a level 17 Camille in the top side. Hookshot wall dives his way out. He's gonna get hit by the slow. Gonna get knocked up by the Forge God, and finally, potentially a kill. Finally, a kill for the Corki. It's taken 26 minutes.
Game for him. Is it time to scale now? He decided to
what are you doing there?
maybe trying to get a vision.
He's out, and who's not out is actually Pedro. He is caught in the middle of no man's land. Thought it was a kill the other way, but the Rel so much tankier than the Elise, especially this part of the game. Frozen Heart and a Locket, didn't even burst the Locket and still survived. Now Baron actually maybe heading the way of the Penguins. They have a 5k gold disadvantage. He's found a couple of early picks here, and now Insane Damage going to get caught onto the level 16 Gwen. Looks to activate, but he's able to escape. Locket Road goes massive with a 2-man Magnet Storm. The knockup from the Orn, a kill already in this fight for the Viego. Gets a second onto the Fway, and now Baron surely for the side of the Penguins.
That's wow. We were talking about the 2 prison 3 with almost 4k gold difference. Galaxy, yeah, now that
Fighting 4v2 will typically overrule a gold disadvantage, so
yeah.
maybe don't fight 4v2 when you're 5k up. I don't know.
I don't think they are good with that.
That was a flash cocoon by the way from Pedro. He will be caught out as Live goes over the top. He is completely unchecked in the back of everything else on his W. He has so much damage. He's finally a little bit of seat put onto his face, but he is going to escape over the wall. No, he will get caught by the Spectral Maw. Zekin gets him eventually. Cost his own flash though. The Baron did reset, but they should still be able to take it.
Yeah, you have the DPS, you have the Crowdful,
They have a DPS? We already have Viego here, but Orn does absolutely nothing.
14 kills Viego, and he has not DPS done it back. They have started. They have decided again.
Yeah, they've overstayed. They don't have the DPS for the Baron at all. And the Hextech Ultimatum has caught just a level 14 Viego. Muff, no mana. The Needlework connects perfectly with Dark Harvest as well. Hands it over, and now they definitely have the DPS to get through the Galaxy.
They don't care about now. They just care about
that was a 3v3. That's a good fight.
Yeah, but I don't think they count it. They never count it.
Probably true. If they ever stopped to count them, they wouldn't be making these plays. As it is the Baron now handed over a 6 gold lead. It just felt like they needed to take a little bit of a breath. There is soul spawning in a minute. You don't need to keep rushing these plays on the Baron, especially when you don't have the Corki, you don't have the play up there, you don't have the damage to really get through that big purple worm. As on the other side, you're now facing down the barrel. Looks like 4 people having the Baron. I think the Tristana was still dead when it was taken, so no Baron split push available for the Tristana, but still a whole lot of damage in the kit. 4.5 items already. Is there any stopping this Tristana?
I don't think so. Like, the only hope they had was that Diego, because they don't really have that much anymore on the composition, but
But he's down
not-
3 levels.
yeah,
And he's going to get jumped on as well. Zekken has unfortunately been completely out-farmed by the Gwen, who is in the rest of his team the rest of the game and just gone farming in the jungle. It's worked out for him, and he is now so lethal. Starting to catch up in items, already level 17 as well. And Tristana over the top, going to get another kill onto the Corki, double jump
going all out here.
onto the play, puts down the exhaust, 3 more autos, gets the kill again. And Line 6X looks to take this one over the line for his team.
Down here.
Game 2 going the way of Galaxy Esports, and after just fighting a little bit more, they're gonna get the win in the end.
It just click button. Like, there's no really anything to say. Wow. I think the only hope the Penguins have had was the Diego, but he just snowballed in negative sense by the 20th minute ish. And yeah, they had nothing else. All the resources were on Diego, and wow, very rough here.
Very
We are
rough
2-0 for the GLX, and now we need a spicier draft and a spicier gameplay actually from the Penguins to really see them shine here for the game.
Unfortunately, they are not doing what they need to right now. They have to pick themselves up. They are facing down the barrel of a 3-0 elimination. Galaxy Esports have run the gauntlet in our lower bracket. The best of 5s are where they have shown up. Could they make it 3-0, or will we be headed to a game 4? We'll find out in a couple minutes when we're back with Game 3 draft.
See you next.